Alright, hi everybody. I haven't really talked about how I've been feeling this past month. I made a few videos and gave updates of what I've been doing, like a job and all these things going on. But to be perfectly honest, this month was the hardest month I've ever had, and since probably like 2006. My triggers were through the roof. Like everything was really getting to me, and I wanted to go to the hospital really bad, but I have a cat now, and that's why I got this cat, because I want to work, and I want to be able to work without having to be hospitalized, but I don't want to live and suffer with depression. So I sucked it up this month. I just sucked it up, and it's still there. It's really bad. And then on top of that, I had like a brief moment of psychosis yesterday that I do want to like put on record, that I started hallucinating yesterday. It was really stupid. I remember being clear about it. So that's how I kind of know the medication's working, because in the past, when I was hallucinating, it was more like a fog. I don't know what I was thinking, what I was feeling, why I was doing this or that, doing things that made no sense, you know. But last night, I did have a moment. I started freaking out, and I was like, I don't recognize myself right now. I look at a picture of myself and be like, I don't recognize myself right now. And I felt calmed by that picture of me, and just like, it's okay, like, you have an illness now. Like, it's an old picture of me of before I was able to hide this schizophrenia real well, and depression, and just suffered with it, you know, for a long time. And people knew. They'd always make comments like, oh, you need to take medication and stuff like that, and I just never did. I was just like, you know, I've been through a lot, that's why I'm upset. It's not anything other than that, and it's a combination of those things, you know. It's your brain doesn't react well. But looking at that picture helped me kind of like bring me back to reality. I was like reassuring myself, like, you may be like this again someday. You may be normal again. You may be able to do fun things again, and you know, it won't be like such a chore. Like going to a theme park this time felt like so hard, you know. Like, I really pushed myself. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I had so much on my mind that, and it wasn't like the way it was my old videos from way back when I went to theme parks and had fun. It's hard. It's really hard, because there's just this underlying depression there, and it's exhausting. So anyways, it was really bad this month, really bad. So I am going through some changes, but nothing, for some reason, my brain is not adjusting well to all the change, you know, and that's what I knew that would happen. I knew that would happen. I'm just like, do not talk yourself out of something that's positive just because you feel this way, because your emotions are lying to you, you know. And I even called hotlines and things like that, and my doctor, they knew how I was feeling, and they agreed I should not be hospitalized because I need to work again, and that's my goal, you know. And you can't have a job and go to the hospital for a few days and then go back to work, you know. It's like, this not realistic, you know. That's emergencies, but at the same time I was like, I could do this, I can suffer. I'll just suffer through it, you know. And I did this month, like, really bad. And the hotline was more like a resource for, it felt like an emergency resource, the way they handled it. It was just like, they told me what to do real quick. And it's like, I'm in crisis, It's like, I don't feel better, but I'm not in a bad place. Bad, But mentally I really was. And I believe this is going to pass. That's what I told the doctor. I was like, please don't hospitalize me. I have a kitten now. I'm trying to work again. Anytime I worked in the past, I just like sucked it up, and just faked it. Like, let me fake it. I really want a life again. I'll just fake it. I don't care. And they agreed, like, okay, well, you need counseling and all that. I didn't go to counseling. I don't want to talk about my problems, honestly. I really don't. I have problems like everybody else. You're not going to have me dig into some traumatic crap and then I got to go work the next day. Like, it's irresponsible, and it's not realistic at all, because every job, you have to have a good attitude. You have to be a team player. You have to be a good sport. You have to have your head on straight. That's what an employer wants. And if you're thinking about some episode, something that happened when you were a kid, because you talk about it in therapy, you're going to be nuts the next day. Like, obviously. So it's not conducive to employment. Like, so this month I just suffered through it and I pushed through it, and I was just like, this is the worst it gets. It's like, oh, what can I compare it to? A bad winter. It's like a bad freezing cold, and you have to sleep outside, but the spring is coming. It's coming eventually. And that's what it is. Eventually, it's like something attacking your brain inside. You can feel it. It's attacking your brain. And you want it to stop, but you are just like, I'm just going to not make a move. Fight, flight, or freeze. So for me, I get into freeze mode, and I'm just like, it's gonna go away. It's gonna go away. And in the past, I was in flight mode for the last several years. Every time I got that feeling, that horrible attacking feeling, I would haul ass. I would. So that helped, and that's kind of why I like theme parks and stuff like that. It just takes my mind off of stuff, but like, that's a whole other, not realistic. But yeah, I did have a moment of psychosis last night, and I was hallucinating, but I was aware of it this time. I was like, okay, it was like me stepping outside myself and watching myself. It was just like, wow, you're hallucinating right now. Like, everything you're saying and thinking is not real, so you shouldn't believe it. I was able to talk myself out of it, I want to say. It was weird. It was really strange, and it scared me for a minute. It was like, oh man, here we go. Here it comes, Here comes the craziness. But it stemmed from going to work and like absorbing a lot of information at one time. And I love information. Like, that's why I got the job I got. I'm just like really excited to work there because it's a bookstore. So it's like I take in so much information and it makes me feel better. But then my brain like skipped a beat and was like taking all that information and twisting it and making it about something that's not real. So that's schizophrenia, and it's exhausting and it's frustrating, and in my mind I still don't know what's real and what's fake. It's hard for me to, it's all a big blur. Like, that's the way I think. Sometimes I believe things that aren't real. That's part of schizophrenia. And I'm adamant about it, too, with a lot of things. And it scared me because I had major anxiety. It's funny because I took in all that information and it's just like, I was not seeing myself clearly at all. I feel like something changed in my mind. And it was just a big freaking mess. Like, I can't even get into it. About what I was thinking. I'm not going to embarrass myself, but I was very delusional. And, it lasted the night. I went to sleep, woke up this morning. I was like, wow, that was an interesting episode. I'm glad we caught it while we did. And I say we because it's like me, myself, and I. It's terrible. That's why I live alone. Like, I'm not getting another roommate. I already live with 3 people. So, and a cat. But yeah, I've got like the medication change is supposed to take a while to kick in. Today I was feeling nauseous, which means it's working. Obviously, it's starting to kick in. But I could feel it in the back of my neck, like right here, in the back of my brain. And it's really like a very overwhelming feeling. But I'm coherent. So, that's the good thing. I'm coherent to the psychosis. I was just like, wow, it's just watching myself like, wow, you're really having an episode here that isn't real. You know that's not real, right? So, I had to tell myself that. And I'm proud of myself for being able to get through last night. And this month. I'm not proud of suffering in silence. I don't think anybody should feel depression on a daily basis and just have to suck it up. I don't believe in that. That's why I'm hoping my medications really kick in the next week or so. If not, we're going to have to try another kind. I don't know. Because I don't like feeling, it's the bottomless pit. That's why I had to call the hotline. Because I really did not want to go in the hospital. I was just like, oh my God, can I live again? So yeah. I don't feel like I accomplished something by suffering in silence. That's not what I'm talking about. Psychosis and getting through that was one thing. But I've got to figure out a way to alleviate this depression with medication. Because I've done everything under the sun and it never worked. And if this medication doesn't work, I'm going to try another one and another one and another one until something gets rid of this thing gnawing at me, like, constantly. Am I hearing voices? No. If I do start to hear voices, they disappear quickly. So today I actually read through 5 or 6 journals, just browsed through them a lot and I was just completely aware of everything that was in there, and this was a voice, and this was a voice, and they were saying this and this and this. Wow, where does this come from, So I'm kind of analyzing things like that I don't understand, how somebody hears voices, and is it some people would think it's a spiritual thing, or some people think it's information and intelligence, and I don't know what it is. I just know that it happens, and I don't have anybody to talk to about it. I don't have anybody that understands that on a regular basis. It's so hard to deal with. But this month wasn't as bad with the voices, but the depression was really bad. So I'm wondering if it's intertwined, links, try to stop the voices, but you're going to feel like crap. So that could be it. I don't know. But I'm doing the best I can, and I'm taking it easy with work. I'm only working part-time. I can only handle part-time right now. I wish that weren't the case, but I have to be realistic. I'm not the way I was 10 years ago. I have an illness now, and it's not going to go away. That was this whole year me hoping it'll just go away. It'll just go away, and it's not going away. And I'm scared. I'm very scared. I don't want to hallucinate in public like I have. I don't want to believe things that aren't real. I mean, the depression is something I've dealt with always. I've always dealt with that, but the hallucinations, like, really, I cannot do this at work. I'm really hoping it doesn't happen. And if it does, I don't know what to do, because I told you in another video, I blacked out at work once, but that was a lot of stress, and that's why I'm not taking a job like that anymore, because my brain was overactive, and I was overwhelmed, and, oh man. Okay, so I guess that's it for now. I hope everybody had a good Halloween, had a good, fun holiday there. I'll keep you updated on how I feel and how work goes and how I'm managing both in an apartment by myself, because these are things most people can do, but for me it's climbing Mount Everest. So, that sounds pathetic, and it's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. These are the basics in life, It's like, I can't tie my shoes, that's how it feels, and you gotta have somebody do it for you. It's embarrassing. You just want to push everybody away and say, I could do this myself. That's what you want to do. But then everybody comes around and they're like, let me tie your shoes. I'm like, you're helping me so much. But I'm not a child. This isn't fair. I look like a fucking kid. So, it's hard. I'm being realistic. I'm just not accepting of failure at this point. Like, I'm really not accepting failure. I've gone through too much. It's not fair. So, yeah, that's it for now, I guess. I'll keep you updated on how I'm feeling. If it gets worse or better, if I start hallucinating again, how work goes, how it's gonna be to feel how good it's gonna feel to be around people. You really miss people. Hopefully nobody freaks me out. Alright, so see how it goes.